morning, everyone. Welcome to our February 14th, 2023 Madison County Fiscal Court meeting. Thank you, my little angry bird. Sure. Yep, appreciate it. Welcome to our meeting. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs. Here. Master Lockmiller.
Here.
Master Hughes. Here. Master Botkin.
Present.
Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite Brother Hobbs up to lead us in a word of prayer. He's from the Berea Church of God. And before Brother Hobbs prays, I would like to have just a moment of silence this morning for Eddie Good. Many of you all, I hope, knew Eddie. Eddie was a wonderful public servant, not only with the Madison County Sheriff's Department, but the Richmond City Police Department. He was a lifelong resident of Union City, Oakley Wells. I actually lived on Oakley Wells Road, man. Just a great person, good friend, a good family member, and really his life was cut a little short, Tony. He was really, as we all get older, those 58s or 57, I think, it's not very old. But just have a moment of silence, just think about his family and friends and the relationships and how much he meant to this community all the years. So.
Pray with me if you would like to. Father God, we're grateful today that you have allowed us to come into your presence. We do lift up the family of Mr. Good, and we are honored by his service to this community, and we pray peace on his family today. Father, I thank you for our county leaders, our judge, our magistrates, our elected leaders, our law enforcement. I just pray that you will guide and direct them in their very important work that they do to make Madison County the great place to live as it is. We bless this place today, and we ask you, Father God, to guide and direct and let us see the hand of God at work among us. And for that, we will be very grateful for that. So we thank you for this moment and this day and the blessings upon our cities, our county, and our leaders. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Tom, if you will, lead us in the pledge.
Stand, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated.
Thanks, Tom. Members of the court, y'all have had a chance to look over our meeting minutes. We do have two different meeting minutes that we need to approve today. One is from our January the 24th, 2023 regular scheduled fiscal court meeting. This time I need a motion and a second to approve.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. The next was our special called work session that we did on February the 7th. This was February the 7th, 2023. I need a motion and a second to approve.
Make a motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. All right, Treasurer's Report will be at our next fiscal court meeting. It's always on our fourth Tuesday. First order of business today is we have a group of people here with us from our family resource centers here across Madison County, and we have a whole group of them, and I'm not going to try to recognize all of them, but I am going to make Amy recognize all of them. And so, Amy, if you want to come up to the podium as I read the proclamation, and then we'll have some good conversation today and recognition.
All right.
This is a Madison County Fiscal Court proclamation, whereas in response to growing concerns and a desire to remove barriers to educational success, the Kentucky General Assembly created the Family Resource and Youth Service Centers, also known as FRISCs, as an integral part of the reform system. And whereas FRISC has been significantly impacting the lives of students and families in Kentucky for more than 30 years, and whereas the growing number and complexity of problems faced by our society, poverty, family restructuring, teenage pregnancy, substance abuse, and domestic and youth violence has caused increasing levels of stress on families and children. Stress that children bring to the classroom, which creates barriers to learning. And whereas the Cabinet for Health and Family Services and Division of Frisk has the responsibility for the administration of this program, where the Kentucky Department of Education continues to provide technical support for the public education mandate. And whereas these centers are designed to address the needs of children by developing partnerships with schools, families, and communities to help all public school students reach proficiency. And whereas now, more than 3 decades since inception, the Kentucky Family Resource and Youth Service Centers are recognized as the nation's largest school-based family support initiative. And whereas recent surveys report that educators, parents, and community partners feel that the Family Resource and Youth Service Centers are a necessary component of Kentucky educational programming and a program vital to students, empowering families, and helping to improve schools. Now, therefore, I, Reagan Taylor, Madison County Judge Executive in the Madison County Fiscal Court, do hereby proclaim February the 14th, 2023 as Frisk Day, and urge all citizens to honor the Madison County Family Resource and Youth Service Centers for the services they provide to our students and families each day. I think it's worth a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. All of the people that are
Will
here.
you say that again?
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
All of the schools are not recognized today because we have people in the trenches doing some work. But I would love to recognize the people that are here as great community stewards, and to thank each of you all and the agencies that you serve to working with us and our schools to keep us safe and to teach our community all the things that we need to learn. So we will start with Kathy Coomer and Ashley Taylor, who are at Glen Marshall and B. Michael Caudle Middle School.
You got to stand up, be recognized.
Yes, got to
Sorry.
stand up.
She's not like her brother. She ran to the back of the room.
Hope Burchett, who is at Kirksville Family Resource Center at Kirksville Elementary. Zach Ray, who serves Foley and Fairstown Youth Service Center. Becky Maupin, who's at Waco Family Resource Center at Waco Elementary. Angie Daniels at Kingston Family Resource Center. Sean Quinlan and Ashley Johnson, who are working at Southern High School, Madison Southern. So yes, we appreciate your time and thank you very much for the recognition. They are definitely people who deserve more than a pat on the back.
Absolutely, and I think as you see, obviously this was implemented years ago, and man, how many lives that each and every one of y'all have touched for the betterment, especially in a society where we struggle with this home lives that our young people sometimes are growing up in, the drug epidemic that causes and creates a lot of this. You know, my sister is, and it's been a long time Family Resource Center, and I know a lot of the things y'all deal with have to be confidential, but you know, just the stories that you hear, man, it breaks your heart. And so I'm so thankful that each and every one of you all are there to be that counselor, to be that just that loving heart to some of these kids that are in need of that. And with our addition of the legislator making the school resource officers, you know, that's just another little component that's an add to you all to help. And so I'm so thankful that we're looking into that, because to me, prevention is how we're going to get out of this drug epidemic. Focusing in our young people and having those hard conversations I think is what's really going to help get us out of this drug epidemic and this crisis that we're in. I would like, and members of the court, y'all welcome to say any comments that you want. We will take a picture and present this proclamation to the whole group if you all wanted to make your way up here in front of the bench.
While they're coming up, Judge, I'd just like to say that my wife was the secretary down at Shannon Johnson for several years, and I got to see firsthand some of the things that they did down there. And I'll just tell you, each and every one of you, it's so fitting that this happens to be on Valentine's Day, because you all have a very huge heart, especially for what you do, and your angels walking among us, and we certainly appreciate you.
I wanted to add something here, and that is that a little trick that the community doesn't know is when the youth are being helped at the elementary school, they're taking note of it. And when those children move to the middle school, the kids that we know need that extra help, those names are passed on, and it continues all the way up to high school. So we have our eyes on these kids all the way through their schooling years. And the other thing I'd like to say, I'm at the high school, and when our kids come in and we help them out, I let them know that we have a great community, and it's our community that helps us help our students. So we're certainly getting the recognition here, but I'd like to say thank you to the community that is time and time again helping us out, helping the families that we work with.
He's not bossy, is he?
I have an advisory council meeting in March. I'll be reaching out to you.
I got a letter from y'all that.
Good to see you.
That's
Coming up. Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Pastors are working on.
Yeah, it's like $85 a student, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But I do have a council meeting, so I'll be reaching out in March.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Next on our agenda is resolution 2023-10. This is the refurbishing of a 2001 Freightliner fire pumper truck engine 3, and this is a bid award. And this was the thing we had on the agenda. This was the item we had on the agenda last time that we tabled. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So if you will, reread the resolution, please.
Resolution 2023-10. A resolution awarding a bid for the Madison County Fire Department refurbishing of a 2001 Freightliner pumper truck, engine 3. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is required to approve of all bids of projects in accordance with their administrative code, and whereas the Madison County Fire Department requested bids for the refurbishing of a 2001 Freightliner pumper truck, engine 3, is planned and budgeted in fiscal year 2022-2023, and whereas the bid notice was properly posted and Madison County Fire Department received 2 bids, and whereas the Madison County Fire Chief Tim Gray has reviewed the bids and wishes to award the bid in an amount of $139,194.02 and entered into a contract with Brindley Mountain Fire Apparatus for the refurbishing of a 2001 Freightliner pumper truck, engine 3. Now therefore, be it resolved that this fiscal court does hereby approve this resolution, authorizes the judge executive and/or his designee to execute same on behalf of the county.
Motion
Thank you,
approved
Chief.
resolution 2023-10, Judge.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
You know what, last time I asked if we could, I had some questions about the truck, and I went to look at it, and the chief showed me, and it's a really nice truck, it needs to be fixed, and it's a dandy. It's the kind of truck I like it a lot, and I appreciate your work on it.
Appreciate it. And I know Tom had a question or so there yesterday, and I found out with them this morning, they'll be ready to take it upon our approval, and they'll probably have it 8 to 10 months, depending on whatever the parts they need, if they're held up or not, but usually 8 to 10 months, they'll have a turnaround, we'll have this truck back.
Can we keep the seat that's in it, driver's seat in it?
We probably can if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be good just to hang up in the fire garage or something, just to show taxpayers how much we wear something out
Oh,
before we
yeah.
replace it.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's got the best life out of it.
yeah. Any other comments? We do have a motion and a second. All right, call the roll, please.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Master Bockton.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Chief. All right, next is Resolution 2023-13. This is the 80/20 Bridge Funds, East Village Road, CR 1312. Scott, good morning.
Morning. A resolution adopting and approving the execution of a rural secondary program agreement
between the Madison County Fiscal Court, hereinafter referred to as the county, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, hereinafter referred to as the department, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system. Whereas it would be to the benefit of the traveling public to replace a bridge on East Bill Eads Road CR 1312, otherwise detailed in the CB01 Bridge Funds Agreement, which shall hereinafter be referred to as the project. And whereas the county has expressed its desire to perform the work for the aforementioned project and to be responsible for all phases of the project, and whereas the Transportation Cabinet shall be responsible for providing and agrees to reimburse up to the amount of 80% of actual rural secondary project cost, but in no case to exceed $80,000 for the aforementioned project. In no event shall the county not be responsible for 20% of the cost. Now therefore be it resolved, the Madison County Fiscal Court, that the Fiscal Court does hereby certify that all roads and streets referred to in said agreement are county roads and defined in KRS 178.010 subsection B, and the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated, which is attached hereto this resolution. And the Madison County Judge Executive is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on behalf of the Madison County Fiscal Court, and the Madison County Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. Be it further resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby above approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute same on behalf of the county.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Y'all heard Resolution 2023-13. I need a motion and a second to approve.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Scott, could you give a little bit of backstory to the court, if you don't mind, on this bridge? Just that the state inspected this bridge maybe a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was approximately a little over a year ago. They inspected it. They notified us that the bridge was in critical condition. The metal supports under it have rusted through and have holes in it. They cautioned us about weight limits to be going across the bridge, and we actually had an instance where I recommended that the fire department did not take our truck across it due to it being 6 days after I received that report. So luckily no one was hurt, but we did not take our fire truck across there to fight the fire. We used Union City's department pumper truck to fight the fire instead. I've been working on this for several months now. I went through 5 or 6 different scenarios of how we could pay for it, what it was going to cost, and I think we finally narrowed it down to we're going to use our 80-20 bridge money this year, which will give us $80,000. We're also going to commit to use it next year, which will give us another $80,000, and then we're going to be out of pocket $120,000.
And also just talking about that actual road, if anybody's familiar with Bill Eads, that bridge goes across the creek. I think it's East Prong, and it makes a hard left. But you can actually drive down in the creek. And we went down there at the road department and cleared that out after that fire event that happened, and we cleared that out to where you can actually go down in the creek and cross back over to get to people. Now, before it was kind of grown up.
Yeah, it was overgrown. We reworked it. Now we do have an open passage, so that's also going to help us when we tear this bridge out. They will have a way to get back and forth, and it won't close them off. This is a precast bridge. This will come in about 8 sections. So tear out time and replacing the bridge, it's going to be relatively short, probably 3 to 4 weeks. We can have the bridge in and completed. Time-wise, if we order it now, probably looking May, I hope, that we'll be installing the bridge.
Thank you, Scott. Any questions? Any comments?
What will it be rated for weight-wise?
It'll be 36 or 40 ton. I'll have to look at the drawings to be sure, but it will be,
But this is a concrete bridge. The life of this bridge is a lot longer than what?
a lot longer. Everything in this bridge will be concrete. This is replacing the head walls, the wing walls, the center structure. The complete deck will be concrete, and then we'll be installing guardrail on each side.
Any questions? All right, thanks, Scott. Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Buckin,
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Next, Resolution 2023-14. This is the Broadband Expansion Funds Proposal. Can I read that one more time? Broadband Expansion Funds Proposal. Man, it feels good to read that finally. Bringing this to court.
It feels like it's been forever. It's certainly an exciting day for this body and the Broadband Task Force, and probably more importantly, an exciting day for the citizens of Madison County. To finally see this achieved and to do it for what we're doing it for is pretty unremarkable. So kudos to the Broadband Task Force, Judge Taylor and Deputy Judge Williams for their work on this. So without further ado, we will read this for your approval, and I am certainly honored to be the one that gets to present it to you today. Resolution 2023-14, a resolution for the Madison County Fiscal Court to approve a broadband expansion plan. Whereas Madison County has been working on a broadband expansion plan for the last year, and the county recognizes the critical importance of ensuring universal broadband access for all residents and businesses in Madison County to support economic development, educational advancement, maintain property values, and a quality of life within the county. Whereas the county desires to execute a comprehensive strategy for achieving universal broadband access for all residents and businesses in the county. And whereas AT&T, All Points Broadband, Charter Spectrum, and Windstream submitted and met the qualifications and capability to develop and implement one or more projects within the county. And whereas the county desires to enter in and negotiate a contractual agreement with Spectrum Charter to expand broadband availability and provide access to all areas of the county currently not being served. And whereas, based on the work of the Broadband Task Force, significant data analysis, and the attached proposal, it is requested that the Fiscal Court authorizes the use of up to $750,000 of ARPA funds to ensure every Madison County has access to high-speed internet service by May 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive and/or his designee to execute contracts on behalf of the county.
Motion to approve resolution 2023-14, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? You all heard really a lot in detail last Tuesday at our work session about our broadband projects. But at this time, if y'all have any questions or comments you'd like to make.
Judge, I'd just like to say that based upon my experience and history in the telecommunications industry over the years of my life, this is kudos to the staff, anybody else that had you and the other magistrates. This is a grand slam, and I'm going to be very proud, even though I wasn't here when it was initiated, to vote yes on this, because this is something that's very critical to the future of the Madison County citizens.
Yeah, agree. Good words. Thanks.
Just want to thank everybody that was on the task force and for all their hard work. I know there's a lot of work went into it, and we weren't a part of that, but we do recognize what you guys have done, and I think it's safe to say we wouldn't be doing this without ARPA funds. So, we're not going into the internet business, so.
No.
Just to make that public, this is money that's appropriated through the federal government. That's the reason why we're doing this. But again, thank everyone that had a part in the task force.
All right. You all have heard the reading of Resolution 2023-14, and we do have a motion and a second. So, if no further discussion, call the roll.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Buckin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Got excited, Judge.
Hey, you wanted it twice. You want to say twice on that. It's funny, Tom. That's good. All right, next. Hey, Chris, thank you. And actually, thanks for all our task force. I think Glenna, Kenny. I think Kenny was on that with us. Tom, Bert, and which Bert's not here. Chris kind of led the charge. Who was there? Was that it? Huh? Okay. Yep. So that's good. Appreciate
Yeah, but I
appreciate
don't-
everybody's hard work.
But the biggest workload goes to Chris Israel. I mean, because it took me a long time to even just understand what we were talking about, and he knows it forwards and backwards, and it wouldn't have been done without him. There's no doubt about it. And we obviously did the right thing, because when we started in, what was the number?
Well, I think one of them was like $14 million or something crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One of
we,
them, one of them.
60 million.
69.
so we could have just said, yeah, everybody needs the internet, let's do it, and thrown all that money out there and been bad. You wouldn't look as smart as you did on those dump trucks you bought.
No, I wouldn't have. No, or we wouldn't have.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, my little buddy, are you gonna read this, or do you want me to read it?
Copy. I intended to
Figures.
bring
Oh,
copies,
figures.
so
Yep, sounds about right.
give you the
All right, next resolution 2023-15. This is House Bill 1, HB 1, County Clerk Election Equipment Grant Application. Adoption of a resolution of the Madison County Fiscal Court authorizing the filing of a Kentucky House Bill 1, County Clerk's Election Equipment Grant Application for up to $70,000 in House Bill 1 project funds with the Department for Local Government. Authorizing and directing the Madison County Judge Executive to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by DLG to carry out this project, and authorizing the Judge Executive to act as the authorized correspondent for this project. Whereas Madison County desires to purchase election equipment approved by the State Board of Elections on behalf of the residents of Madison County by supporting the House Bill 1 project. And whereas it is recognized that House Bill 1 monies available to the county for the purposes stated herein pursuant to the 2022 Kentucky General Assembly House Bill 1, which is a budget bill, impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the county and will require, among other things, approval of a satisfactory application transmitted to SBE for approval, and number 2, other obligations of the county in connection with receiving the House Bill 1 grant monies for the purposes stated herein. Now therefore be it resolved this 14th day of February 2023 by Madison County Fiscal Court that a House Bill 1 County Clerk Election Equipment Grant Application on behalf of the county for House Bill 1 monies up to $70,000 for electronic poll books project. Project shall be submitted to DLG. The county shall provide such additional information and furnish such documentation as may be required, and the county judge executive shall act as the authorized correspondent for this project. So you all have heard resolution 2023-15. I need a motion and a second.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023-15.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. And this language we did not write. This came, Robin, this came directly from DLG.
Department
So,
of Local Government.
yes, this is what we had to put in this resolution.
Yes.
But does the members of the court, you don't know what poll books are. This is all part of our election process that Kenny has streamlined for many years. The court has been investing in equipment, better technology. So, Kenny, I don't know if you want to explain
Well,
any.
we started out 6 years ago. We been using it for 5. There was a contract with a company that we've used since we started using poll books that was paid for by a State Board of Elections with HAVA grants, Help America Vote Act money. And we knew this was going to come to an end and sunset, and it has. So we, along with State Board, Secretary of State's office, and our clerks group, petitioned the legislature for money. So we've got $250 million split over 2 years. So this is the first $125 million. And I don't think we're gonna spend this first $125 million, so we're gonna have
More.
money left over from this going into next year on the additional $125 million to get some more equipment. There's still some counties that need to upgrade their equipment. They'll be first in line, but we've been kind of behind on getting reimbursed on some of our stuff over the years. We need more equipment coming up, get ready for presidential, and we're gonna be right up there in the front of the line with State Board on getting some of this grant money to get additional equipment.
That's good. So this 70,000, Kenny, how many like poll books will that give us?
50. That's 50 poll
50
books
poll
with all the peripherals and the software.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes along with this is the maintenance fee. Anytime you buy software, you got a device with software in it, you've got an annual maintenance fee, so that'll be added into our election expense too, which is gonna be uncovered for the, foreseeable future.
The other thing too is I always love, I said when I first came into office, it didn't take me long to feel like that, part of our job as elected officials to help educate the citizens with the facts and, how government works. And a lot of times people don't realize, but one of our statutory obligations as a fiscal court is to pay for elections.
That's correct.
That's not the county clerk's job. He doesn't have a budget line item for that. That's not the city's responsibility. They don't pay for elections when a city mayor or council man or woman or commissioner are being elected. All that is paid through the fiscal court, and so that's why we look for opportunities like this to have grants and to be able to help us offset some of that cost out of our local dollar. So, Rick.
But we've got 4 poll book providers that have been approved by State Board of Elections, which is a must. And we've got, they've been through the RFP process, which you can tell, it's mid-February and got election in May. So it's been right down to the wire on getting this stuff approved, but everything's lined out now. If we've already got our stuff allocated through more than one vendor, so tomorrow Board of Elections will be meeting and we'll be selecting the vendor and going forward with the project.
So I'm assuming that we'll have paperwork for me to sign, and
Yeah.
you'll help guide us in that.
Yeah, and that's you have to pay for it and then get reimbursed.
Yeah.
It's not coming straight out. So once we receive the equipment, we got to send all the serial numbers in and then these documents to DLG, and it's supposed to be a very quick turnaround. We've been promised that too.
Okay, it's good.
They have the money they're waiting to send out.
Okay, good deal. Any other questions, comments? All right, hearing none, call the roll.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Bakken.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. All right, next is Resolution 2023-16, a resolution confirming the Madison County Fiscal Court to serve as the applicant agent for the fiscal year 24 general ASAP grant and authorizing the judge executive to sign on behalf of the county. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court, at the request of the Madison County Agency for Substance Abuse Policy, assist in providing resources to enhance the health and well-being of the general public. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court will act as the applicant agent for the Madison County Agency for Substance Abuse Policy, also known as ASAP, to make an application to the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet, Office of Drug Control Policy, for assistance to affect alcohol and substance abuse issues in Madison County and to increase drug prevention and awareness activities funded by the program. And whereas the Madison County ASAP funding request is limited to $20,000 for the 2024 Agency for Substance Abuse Policy funding year, now therefore be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court assists the Madison County Agency for Substance Abuse Policy, acting as the fiscal agent for the purpose of providing services necessary for the program, fiscal operation of the agency. And be it further resolved that in the event a grant is awarded, the Madison County Fiscal Court understands that it will sign assurances to comply with all the applicable federal and state laws, rules, and regulations, especially Title VI of the Civil Rights Act and Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act. You all have heard Resolution 2023-16. I need a motion and a second to approve.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
This is a good group, Judge, and they've got
It is.
we've met Laura Nagels at the last meeting, and they do good work out there, and I appreciate them getting the budgets together for that and this grant, so.
Yep. And we do have Jackie Dean with us today. I don't know, Jackie, you want to come up and say anything? Are you sure? You good? But Jackie's with our Scholar House program. Everybody's familiar with the Scholar House. That she's the director of Scholar House that just opened up, 6 months? 6 months ago? Scholar House? Yeah. 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 No, it's good. But you're on our ASAP board and
So I'm the treasurer of the ASAP board, but for Kit Carson Commons Scholar House, we just opened up a year ago.
Was it a year ago?
But we
Okay.
did have our grand opening it was in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
So, and then Eastern Scholar House has been here for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Yep. It's good. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate you being here. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Bakken.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks, Jackie. Appreciate you being here. Next, Resolution 2023-17. This is the Battlefield Park Operations Joint Memorandum of Understanding. Jill, good morning.
Good morning. This is a memorandum of understanding between the Madison County Fiscal Court and the City of Richmond for the transfer of ownership and operation of Battlefield Park. Whereas the County of Madison desires to transfer to the City of Richmond for use by the City of Richmond Parks and Recreation Department and Visit Richmond Tourism Commission the ownership and operation of Battlefield Park, which is comprised of certain parcels of real property currently owned by the county, including 101 General Nelson Drive, 103 General Nelson Drive, 101 Battlefield Memorial Highway, which is the Battlefield Visitor Center, 1546 Battlefield Memorial Highway, which is the Pleasant View House, and 79 Crooksville Road, which is the Battlefield site. And whereas KRS 67.0802 authorizes the transfer of real property to another governmental agency, and the property was donated to the county to preserve the local battlegrounds and will retain the use as part of this transfer. And whereas Richmond intends to take over ownership and operation of Battlefield Park as evidenced by the adoption of identical resolutions by each entity. Whereas it is the desire of the county and of Richmond to enter into a memorandum of understanding setting forth the respective rights and obligations of each governmental agency in connection with the transfer of ownership and operation of Battlefield Park, attached hereto as Exhibit A. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve to enter into the proposed memorandum of understanding with Richmond and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Jill. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2023-17?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-17.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I don't think I want to say about this, judges. I appreciate your all's work in making sure that Phil survived. He's done a lot of good work out there for us over the years, and we appreciate him getting to continue on with the park.
And I appreciate his work in the past, keeping that vibrant out there, because he's a historian in himself. Phil is, and there's been a lot of good activity going on out there, and I just think the city's probably got a little bit better bandwidth and organization for administering a park of that size, and I think it's a good agreement.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing too I want to add is it doesn't change the access, or our citizens, county, city citizens, whoever, if they want to go out there and walk or utilize, take pictures. I know a lot of people, the Pleasant View House, a beautiful place, especially in the fall. And it's always great when I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see, people taking their senior pictures there, or somebody's got engagement pictures and they use that park, and, just the beauty of that park is amazing. So none of that changes in this. To Billy Ray's point is, I think when the City of Richmond has tourism, they actually have a Parks and Recreation department where they can, I think, market it a lot better. And again, it is the Battle of Richmond. So I think it fits better with the City of Richmond.
I hope we can support them as best we can, and not just drop it in their lap.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it's a win-win, Judge. I think, with it being part of the Battlefield Trust, it's going to be supervised well, and I think, it's going to be enhanced by them being a part of it. And I think this is the right move.
Yep. Agree. Concur. Anybody else? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Botkin,
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller,
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. And I also want to thank the City of Richmond. We worked closely with Rob and Mayor. I want to thank them for having this conversation and having a good partnership. I really do. So, it means a lot. Next on our agenda, personnel.
Yeah.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you all? I would just like to go ahead and propose the approval of all the personnel changes and new hires that are included within your all's court packets on Dropbox.
All right. Upon the recommendation, do I have a motion and a second, please?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmiller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckton?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate it. Next is judge's report. I do have a few announcements real quick. Coming up next week is our annual Madison County Districts Tournament. So all the local high schools will be playing girls and boys basketball districts. This year it will be at EKU's Alumni Coliseum. The games, it looks like, start on February the 20th. Semifinals will be on Monday, February the 20th, and Tuesday, February 21st. The championship game will be on Friday, February the 24th. All games will be played at EKU's Alumni Coliseum. So I don't have a time. I'm assuming there'll probably be 6 and 8 is what I'm assuming. But anybody that is interested in seeing Madison Central, Madison Southern, Model, and Berea Community play girls or boys basketball, that will be going on next week. The Richmond Mayor Robert Bly's annual State of the City address will be at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday, February the 23rd. That'll be at EKU's Perkins Building. Please contact the Richmond Chamber of Commerce for required tickets and reservations. This year's statewide tornado drill in Kentucky will be Wednesday, March 1st. It'll be around 10 a.m. Kentucky Severe Weather Preparedness Week is Monday, February the 27th through Friday, March the 3rd. And we normally participate in that, don't we, in our buildings? Jenny, do you go downstairs? Do you go out in the hallway?
If I go out in the hallway in our building? Yes. I mean, I don't have to be locked in my office all the time.
I'm sorry. The reason I say that is because I hate interrupting my work day to go outside for a tornado drill. But I do know it's important. No, we'll go outside of my office. Go outside of my office. Go out in the hallway. Laws and mercy. Got to be so correct around here. The Battle of Richmond Visitor Center's third annual Be a Battle of Richmond Lifesaver. Yeah, it's our Lifesaver campaign. Begins on March 1st and will run through April the 30th. You can drop off bags of individually wrapped lifesavers at the Battle of Richmond Visitor Center. If no one is there, you can leave your donation in one of the benches on the front porch. The staff of the Visitor Center will get your donations to the military missions in Lexington to be included in care packages for military personnel all over the world. For more information, please call 859-624-0013. And then Madison County Courthouse and its related offices will be closed this coming Monday, February the 20th, for President's Day holiday. Offices will reopen on Tuesday, February the 21st at 8 a.m. And Tom, if you don't care, include in your comments just what it meant being in the military and being overseas with this Lifesaver program, and what it meant to you as an officer on active duty to get something in the mail, whether it be a Christmas card or something like this, a care package. And did I say I was starting with Tom?
Oh, you said you were starting with Brian.
Brian. So when I get to you, you do that. Brian, you're next.
I just like to stress to the community, I get a lot of complaints about trash and stuff in the roads or on the side of the roads, in the ditches, and it looks really, really bad throughout the county. And I just want to stress the importance of, this is our home, and let's try to take care of it and not be irresponsible and just trash our roads up. I want to thank Tom for going back and forth with me to the judges conference and to legislative day, and thank you for letting me hang out with you and teaching me a few things. So, but other than that, Judge, I'm just glad to be here.
Glad you're here, buddy. Steve.
Yes, a couple, 3 updates. One, I'll be attending another Valley View board meeting here in the not too distant future. Work with the equipment is going very well. We're very hopeful that to get the Valley View ferry back on line, hopefully before April. But as that timeline gets more firm, I'll be happy to share that with the court and the citizens. Also, I was fortunate enough to sit in on the Madison Utilities Board meeting as a liaison, and found that to be interesting, and look forward to staying keeping updated both the Utilities Board as well as the Fiscal Court on activities there. And then only other thing I want to mention is that I'm working with Chris on some stuff on the ferry. It's too early to actually mention any specifics, but we have a meeting after this meeting today trying to upgrade some of our abilities, both in voice and data, at the ferry location for the future of our citizens. So with that, I'm finished, Judge.
Thanks, Steve. Billy Ray.
I'll just pass today. I'm just glad to be here.
Yep.
Kinda like Brian.
Yeah.
So just
Tom?
quickly, Judge, I just want to say, I've been working with CSX for several months now about the crossing out on Menelus, and they have finally assured me that that's going to be completely reworked and redone in the spring. So whenever asphalt comes, they'll be doing work out there, and I know people that go back and forth across that. It's rough as a cob, and I know they appreciate that. Brian, again, we went to the judges' conference. I certainly appreciate the camaraderie there. I've never been to one yet that we didn't learn something, and this one was no different. We always learned something at one of those conferences. We all had the opportunity, Judge, to go to Legislative Day. Billy Ray, Brian, we all met with our legislators to talk about issues that are important to our districts and to the county, and so we were thankful they had time for us all up there. I'm proud today, Judge. I'm going a little quick. I've got a reason for that, but anyway, I'm proud today to announce finally, after years, this has taken years, but the water line and utility reconstruction for the Kingston turning lane is going to begin, Judge, on February the 27th. There's been a lot of work that went into that, and we're glad to see that finally happening. That's between mile markers 9 and 10 on Highway 421, and then the second phase, the actual construction for the turning lane itself, will be after school is out, and hopefully they'll be done by August the 1st. You know, the 4th District, we're very fortunate that we have a lot of projects going on. There's been it takes a lot of time just to get a project up to where they're actually moving dirt and those kind of things, but we've got the turning lane that'll be happening out there. We've got the US 25 widening project out to 421, dirt moving all over the place out there. They're doing a great job on that. The 52 connector out at Duncannon is also coming along successful. They're working on the bridge down at Silver Creek right now, and it's coming along very well. And then, of course, we've got the development work for the drawings that's being done on what we hope will be Aviation Way and the Economy Road projects. There are a lot of exciting things happening out there. Steve, thank you very much for your assistance with the prisoners and picking up trash, as Brian was saying, out in our areas. Our citizens certainly appreciate that. Last, I'll just end with what you were talking about, Judge. I was in Operation Desert Storm seemed like a lifetime ago now, but I was there at Christmas, and we got care packages, we got cards. And I'm gonna tell you something, when you're a long way from home and you're in a hole and you're sitting right out in the middle of the desert, and a box comes in and it's got your name on, Silver Creek Elementary School adopted me when I was over there, and they sent packages, and I mean, just to get a pack of crackers, you know, in those kind of environments. But the lifesavers, all of those things, I just tell you, our soldiers appreciate that. And so please support those projects. It means a lot to them to know that they're not forgotten overseas. Judge, if anyone needs me, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thank you. Area code.
Do we need an area code?
You got to dial it if you're going to get through.
There you go.
I was just gonna see if he's gonna give the correct one. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Jenny, do you have anything today? You good? Kenny?
Yeah, I got two things. The first one was we received a wet dry petition a week and a half ago. So it took us much longer than we thought to get through the petition, because it's the largest one we've ever received, by twice as much. But it did pass narrowly with, we had 30 signatures left over, so we had to go through almost 12,000. We had to go through the entire petition, but it did pass, and the question on the ballot in May will be, are you in favor of alcoholic sales in Madison County? So that means the entire county is going to be wet if that passes. We don't, normally I don't talk much about petitions beforehand, before we receive them, because that can be viewed as me promoting
Right.
the petition. So it did pass, and it will be on the ballot in May.
Yep.
Second thing is, Judge and I, and Judge more than me, our new office down on 321 North Madison is coming along. Drywall is up. That is final coated. See how I don't know anything. I've got to ask him everything.
This will be good here. I want to listen to what you're going to say.
Well, like I said, let's go put brakes in your truck. Can we look
No,
at
I
it?
wouldn't even try. I wouldn't even talk about it.
We got different skill sets. But the final coat's on there. They're gonna start sanding this week, hopefully start painting next. We got painters coming to give estimates. They should be getting the deck. We had to tear the deck off because it was too far gone, rotten. I leaned out on the rail the other day, looked at something, and the rail didn't stop moving, so we'll get a new deck this week, and, it's moving right along. We should be in there. I know Judge's deadline's March 1st, so I think we will be close.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good project, man.
Yep.
So I appreciate all your hard
And
work on it.
And want to say something too, Judge is doing this out of his own time and a lot of early mornings and late evenings to save the county money. That's going to be one, I guarantee you, for per square foot, the cheapest project in the state in a county building.
You fella, Kenny, and the judge, you all got sweat equity in that project.
Yes, sir.
and I
Yes, sir, we do.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a gentleman, I want to say one more thing too. If you say, hey Siri, give me directions to the county clerk's office, it's going to take you to 321 West Main. We're working on it, don't know how, doesn't make any sense. We've never published that address anywhere, but that's where it takes you. So we've had folks coming down there. Where Judge and I were in one of the bathrooms working, building a soffit. I was standing there and he was telling me what to do. But there was a gentleman came in and said he needed to see either the county clerk or the judge about getting a will notarized. Well, Reagan stepped off there and said, well, you're in the right place, and stuck his hand out. And I shook his hand and said, we introduced ourselves. And he said, are y'all serious? He didn't expect to see I've been talking to Siri. He didn't expect to see the county judge and the clerk down there building a soffit and
I mean, we really had our tool belts on.
Yeah,
Like, we were
yeah.
truly working. And this guy, I thought
he thought we were lying to him.
I thought he was joking. I thought when he came up and here Kenny and I are the judge, executive, and clerk, and he's wanting to know them, I thought somebody sent him down here. He wants something, you know. And he's serious as a heart attack, man. It was funny. Steve, you got anything? You good? All right. Comments from department heads. Chief.
Just want to let everybody know that this coming week, the 18th through the 21st, we should be seeing the Alert FM flyers coming out in the mail. Then starting on the 27th, they'll be being delivered per zone, and that'll last up to about March the 21st. Once those are received, we're gonna have 4 dumpsters set at 4 locations for the old ones to come back in to be recycled. And that'll be at the EOC at 560 South Keeneland, Road North at 325 Madison Avenue, Road South at 208 Clarksville Lane, and Brill Utilities at 200 Harrison Road. And those dumpsters will be in place for about 45 days, which will equal to about April the 14th. So I just want to make everybody be aware if they got any questions or anything.
Sounds good. Any questions for Chief? I understand. Very good. Appreciate you. Any other department heads? Anybody else? Everybody good? All right, comments from the audience. I think Jill said we don't have any Facebook comments. Sure, yeah.
I know him from about 50 years ago. I didn't meet him personally, but I know the name, watched him.
Thank you.
So you know how old I am.
Did they have
You know how
TV?
old I am, too.
Did they have TVs back then?
Black and white.
Yeah, black and white.
Yeah, I just wanted to welcome them to the court and get them a picture here of what we've been working on for over a year now. We're about to complete it as soon as the judge here signs the check for me. It's all paid for. They're working on it up there in Kenton County. And they're going to be waiting on us sometime here between now and July. I hope July, but it could be a little later when the park is finished and we get the concrete in place for it to sit on. We'll get that monument installed, and like I say, just a check is all it is. And I'm going to Owensboro to see the second one installed down there on the Riverwalk. It's going to be installed on Monday.
Okay, that's good.
And
this is a partnership too with the city of Richmond.
Yes.
So and really it's with
community
partnership with the whole community. I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be 2 of these. One's going to be down here in Bree, and the other one's going to be at the new park on the corner of, is it Moberly? Moberly
and Second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right near
this
the
is the city of Richmond's new park. So
The second one I'm still waiting on an approval from the KDVA in Frankfurt for the final 5,000 on it. Sorry to say I couldn't get Berea to come in on it with us over a year, and I thought everybody was on board until it come time, and they backed out. I went to David Gillum, superintendent, and the board. The school said we'd love to have it on our property, so it's going to go in front of Madison Southern School, not on city property, but it's going to be in the city of Berea. I was determined there was going to be one in Berea because I claim that as my home, even though I don't live in the city now. So I think it's going to be right on through with KDVA with not much problem. As soon as it's done, we'll have a ground pointing out position down here in front of the school where we're going to put it. And it's on order, but it hasn't come in from Africa yet. But they would be ready probably before Richmond would. But right now, there's the second one going in Owensboro. There's one going to go in one of the other counties up there around Cincinnati. I don't remember the name of those three counties. And they're Elizabethtown has had one for a good time now, but it's not installed. It's sitting over there, and have too many people with their hands in the fire, and they want it here and we want it there, and they're making a decision on where they're going to place it, but they've got it. So we could even beat them, who knows?
Yep.
So we'll probably be either number 4 or number 5 on the list.
That's good.
And I just wanted to welcome all the new magistrates, and that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Emerson. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Anybody else? Any other audience comments? Sure. Come on up, Mr. Sparks.
Well, for the new magistrate, I'm Kenyon Sparks. I live Collegeville Road, Waco, Kentucky. And I've had a problem for 30 years with dogs and cows behind my house. And nobody don't seem to want to come out there, even listen to what I've got going on. And the only ones that even talk to me about it is the sheriff and the deputies. The deputies been out there. I've called, I don't know how many times, 911 emergencies to report it. And it's all on record. But for a change, I'm gonna let you hear what I've gone through. It starts out slow if I get it going here. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what's going on.
Pull your mic back up, Mr. Sparks, please, so people can hear you.
I said, that gives you an idea of what's going on. And this part, that was at 2 o'clock in the morning. And they come in the afternoon and done the same thing, but the difference was the chainsaw was going too. And I talked to Billy before he got reelected, that he didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to cause no problems. I didn't say a whole lot about it, and I started out, somebody told me what to do. So I tried to do that. I must not have been doing the right thing again. And I talked to a lawyer. He said the only way he could do anything is for y'all to do something. And
what does he want us to do?
Well, I don't.
What he just made a statement that he can't do anything unless we do something. What is that something?
I don't know. He just said to do something to help me, I reckon.
Well, I mean, he needs to have something that says that in law. If he's a lawyer,
You told me yourself, if that's behind your house, you would sue the crap out of it.
yeah.
Well,
Because that's what I've been told, that it becomes a civil matter. It becomes a property dispute between you and your neighbor. And you told us last fiscal court meeting that you came here that you couldn't get attorneys to represent you.
I got one that represented him, but he agreed to do it. But when I told him what it was, he said, no, I can't do that. I represented him against the wildlife department. I wish I'd have brought that letter about what they charged him with.
Well, I get my legal guidance from our county attorney. That's who I get our legal guidance from. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an administrator for county government. I'm chairman of this governing body, and so I get my guidance when it comes to legal matters from her, as our county attorney.
Okay, well, I had a phone call.
And you say this has been going on for 30 years. I've only been county judge for 8.
And I've been trying to get it done for 8.
Well, what about the previous 22?
I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to cause any problem. And that's
Okay.
exactly the reason I'm doing it now. And I must not know what to do now. But I called the Attorney General. Somebody called back at the house, and my son talked to him, and they said there's a possibility that he could be charged with harassment, because that wasn't running coyotes, that was right behind my house. Now,
Okay.
if you don't wanna do nothing, if you can't do nothing, I'm gonna go to Lexington, and I'm gonna play it for every TV station over there and tell them what's going on. And after that, I'm gonna go to Frankfurt and play it for everybody down there that'll listen.
Okay.
Mr. Sparks, we've talked before.
We
The re-
have.
the reason,
He said we've talked 7 or 8 times about it, but it didn't do no good to just talk about it.
well, I've told you what we have, there is no law. I can't do anything more than what our sheriff's department can
Well,
do.
how did they get the noise control in Richmond and Brea?
Can I finish? I cannot do anything more as the prosecutor, more than a sheriff or any other law enforcement can do. We've sent people out there to try to see if there's some way we can do around it, but there's nothing on the books to make what's happening a crime.
something on the
Which, well, I don't get to put anything on the books. My job's to enforce the law. That is why I told you that you would need to go speak to a private attorney to see if you can sue them. Now, I understand that at one point in time you had one, but he also represented the person on the other side, but there's more than one.
Well, I talked to another one. My son went to him, and he sent him this message. It's louder than what you think it is there. He sent him that message, and he told us while we were sitting in his office that he couldn't do nothing until they do it here.
Well, I can't tell other attorneys what to do, but there are plenty of lawsuits that are filed for many things, whether I agree with them or not. But that's private attorneys get to do that in a civil courtroom. There's nothing on the books for me to enforce.
Well, how did you get it on the books to raise the taxes on the insurance?
I don't get anything on the books. I'm a prosecutor. I don't get to vote on fiscal court. I don't get to do any of that.
Y'all got it on there some way.
Again, Mr. Sparks, I need you to listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to what
No,
you're
no, Jenny, I think we're good. Thank you, Mr. Sparks, for being here. If you're welcome to call me at my office, come by my office, we can discuss further.
I called your office twice and you didn't return the call.
Mr. Sparks, am I allowed to take a vacation? Am I allowed, in your eyes, am I allowed to take a vacation?
Yeah, how long you been taking a vacation?
I left last Thursday. When I got to my office this morning at 6 o'clock, I saw your voicemail. Or I saw your little phone record from my office. I have not had a chance to call you back.
Well, I called a long time before you took a vacation. You didn't return it either. You can ask her that.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I've disappointed you, Mr. Sparks.
Well, everybody in here seems to be real happy but me. Well, I can't get nobody to help do nothing. Somebody's already broke the law once.
Yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way, Mr. Sparks. Have a good day. Thank you. Appreciate it. Next on the agenda is to pay the claims and approve the transfers. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Master Botkin,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next meeting is February the 28th, 2023. That'll be back in Richmond. Remember that our fourth Tuesday meeting, our second meeting of the month, is now in Richmond City Chambers, just as a reminder. That'll be at 9:30 on February the 28th, 2023, in Richmond at Richmond City Hall. I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Judge Taylor. Judge Taylor, do you approve of the adjournment?
Yes.